my beautiful souls, and welcome to my tarot card channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem, and in today's pick card reading, we're going to be discussing how do men view you. So, in pick card readings, you can view them how you like, you can watch whatever pile catches your eye, or the whole video, as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. Know that the way that I read tarot is about self-reflection, it's about showing you the different options you have, and it's for entertainment purposes, so don't take anything too seriously. Know that you have your own free will to make your own decisions and to trust yourself. So, yeah, we are going to be doing How Do Men View You? Again, I know, I'm doing it, I want to see, because this is my best performing video, I want to see how, like, I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall at the moment, seeing what does, and what is working on my channel. So I want to, like, keep repeating what is working. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Let's get into the pile selection. So for today's video, we have 3 piles. We have pile 1, which is the 111 card, and your image is of the Berserk protagonist. I think his name is, I don't know, actually I don't even know. I think his name is Berserk, isn't it? His name is Guts, so I assume he has a lot of guts. And it says, his name is Guts, the main character of the manga Berserk, known as the Black Swordsman. He is a complex, compelling character, defined by his tragic backstory, his immense strength and swordsmanship, his relentless pursuit of revenge and self-discovery. So it says, key aspects of Guts' character is tragic backstory. Guts was born from the corpse of his mother, raised as a mercenary, enduring harsh and violent childhood. The Black Swordsman is known to be his signature weapon. It's a dragon slayer sword he's an anti-hero. Guts is not a traditional hero, often resorts to violence and brutality, but he's also displays compassion and loyalty, particularly towards the ones he cares about. Resilience and persistence. Despite facing immense trauma and hardships, Guts continues to fight and strive for a better future, making him a symbol of human will and perseverance. Character development, his personality and motivation evolves throughout the series, and he grapples with his past, his relationships, and his own identity. Overpowered but human, but Guts possesses incredible strength and fighting ability. His power is rooted in his ability to push beyond his limits, making him a relatable and compelling character. So, if any of that resonates with you in some way, please, and like just that image, if that image alone is just capturing your eye, there could be a message in there for you. So pile 1 is your pile. Okay, next we have pile 2. So we have 222. Oh wait, actually, sorry. 111 is also the number, it could be your angel number. Maybe something about this number makes you think something, or you have some sort of like meaning behind what this means to you. The way that I read, and if you don't have a meaning behind the number, the way that I define it is a new beginning, a new start towards something. It also represents just like newness, big change. It could represent a drastic change. It also could just be a message from your spirit team saying that you are divinely protected. And then for pile 2, we have 222. The number could also be, could be just eye-catching to you, a number that you define something with. The way that I read 222 is about relationships. Bro, my camera just disconnected. It could be between you and another person. It could also be with your own relationships, just in general. It's just about, like, overall, the way that I define it is about relationships and love and receiving love, giving love. Also, your image is of this girl character from Chainsaw Man. She is, I believe she's a protagonist as well. Let me see, Chainsaw. Okay, so your thumbnail is of a girl named Makia from Chainsaw Man manga, an anime series. So she's a high-ranking devil hunter, part of the 4 swordsmen embodying the control devil. She's known for her manipulative, dominating personality, using her beauty and powers to control others. She also her ultimate goal is to control the Chainsaw Devil. I think that's like the main character's like alter ego or something that he like becomes into, believing it will lead to her ideal world. Here are more details about her. So her role is she's the central antagonist and a powerful figure in the public safety Devil Hunters organization. By the way, if you're looking to watch that anime, these may be spoilers. So her powers are, her appearance is she's depicted as a beautiful woman with long hair, light reddish hair, yellow eyes, and seemingly gentle demeanor. Powers, she can control individuals she perceives as weaker than her, using them as pawns, even sacrificing them to achieve her goals. She can also use her powers to crush, damage, and inflict other effects on her targets. Personality, she's also portrayed as an intelligent, charismatic, yeah, like has charisma, and manipulative. To often use her charm to gain the trust of others before exploiting them. Motivations, her main desire is to control, believing it can create a world without fear. Relationship with 𝑑𝑒𝑔𝓁, she manipulates him and exploiting his desire for affection and a normal life to control him, ultimately trying to gain control over the Chainsaw Man. So that's the background on her. So these, if you feel like some of these attributes are similar to you in some way, or this girl just catches your eye, or there's just something about this that is calling your attention, please pick pile 2. And then for pile 3, we have the number 333, which I correspond this to growth. But if this is just a number that maybe you have a meaning behind, and what this means something significant to you, please pick pile 3. I attribute this to growth, expansion, transformation. So also your image is of this other anime character. I have no idea where he's from. So I'm gonna do quick research, try to get what his name is, and then I'll come back. Damn, I got that. I got it. I did it mad quick. I'm a freaking detective. So pile 3. This is 𝑒𝑓 Musashi. Sorry, I'm like actually dyslexic. Okay, apparently the info I had. Okay, so this anime is about a real life samurai that I guess they took a liking of and they made it an anime about him. The name that I said was who this character is based on, but the main anime is called Vagabond. So the protagonist of Vagabond, based on the history figure Miyato Mushimi, starts his journey under the name as Shimon Takezo. His background is characterized by growing up in a violent environment. As the son of a renowned but abusive samurai, Takezo experienced a harsh childhood marked by his father's violence and inability to rebel. It also says a demon child reputation. His aggression and quick skills earn him the fear of his village and moniker of demon child, leading him to live in the mountains. Early pursuit of his strength, Takezo initiated motivation to become strong, is fueled by a desire to overcome his father and prove his own strength and existence. He believes that being invincible under the heavens is the path of achieving his recognition. Loneliness and a strong connection to nature. His childhood experience includes being rebuffed by his mother, fearing his father, leading to loneliness. He feels solace, trains himself in the mountains, develops a close bond with nature. Joining the Battle of 𝑒𝑔𝑎𝑟𝑎 at the age of 17, driven by his desire to make a name for himself, he joins the army and the battle at blank. His childhood friend Mamachi, meeting Taku on and a new beginning. After the battle sequence events, he meets the monk who helps him confront his violent nature and gives him a new name, Mahito Mushimari, to mark a new beginning. This early background sets a stage for his journey of self-discovery and transformation, where he eventually moves beyond the pursuit of pure strength to seek a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. Wow. So he becomes like some sort of monk. I want to watch that, actually. I've really been wanting to watch this for the longest time, and like I felt like it would be perfect to use. So if that catches your eye, pile 3, please pick pile 3. Okay, let's hop into the pile. Hello, my beautiful pile ones. If you chose this 111 card, this will be your reading on how do men view you. So I've been like, I'd restarted this pile like 3 different times. This is gonna be the unedited. I'm just gonna go for it. So what we're gonna be doing today for you, pile 1, is we're gonna be doing first Pinterest board. We're gonna like, you know, pull up some messages on what we could be talking about, and then we're gonna do some index messages, and then we're gonna hop into your tarot, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about your thumbnail. So the first thing that I'm getting with your thumbnail is, I don't know if you guys know 𝑒𝑠𝑒𝑟𝑘, but this is an anime, and it's a guy named Guts. So I think, pile 1, you could have how men view you is to be someone who has a lot of guts. Also, from what I remember, for the little that I've seen of this, it's like he's kind of cursed. So there could be something about how men view you is like to be cursed. Maybe you receive a lot of bad luck, or you kind of been going through a rut or having like difficult time period. Maybe you went through hell as a child. Maybe you have a lot of trauma, because like literally in this show it's like he is traumatized and he's just like in survival mode. But then like as he grows, he has this crazy character development and he finds more of who he wants to be. He's also, you know, finds more of his compassionate and loving side through on. But basically in the anime, he's like cursed, and like just negative energy and negative things follow him. And when I think of this, I think of how this could play to real life scenarios. So how men view you is to be maybe someone who constantly attracts negative energy or negative people, or maybe toxic people. For some of you, this could be a very specific message. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it. But some men may view you to be attracted to very toxic men, or people could feel like there could be something about that. Besides that though, this could also be how men view you is to be someone who's a fighter, someone who is like in their survival mode, trying their very best to keep pushing, and you have like immense, how men view you is to have immense strength to push through anything and be able to withstand everything and anything, and also just immense strength and courage. So there could be just all those different things at play, pile 1, and that could be how men view you. But if that doesn't resonate, the main message I'm getting with your thumbnail could just be you are very attractive. Maybe people could be attracted to your traumas. Maybe you tend to attract like trauma bonds. I feel like with Guts, especially in the initial beginning parts of the show, he experiences a lot of trauma, and in a way I like wonder if it's almost like not only like he's cursed in the anime, but if you think about it in real life, people may think they're cursed, but in reality it's just because the way that they're perceiving things. It's their view, it's their way of looking at it. So there could be something about that. But anyways, also it is a love anime too. He finds his love and he's like super loyal and loving towards her. So there could be something about like maybe for some of you, maybe you guys attract damaged men, maybe some people who struggle a lot, or have went through a lot of difficulties as a child, and you are almost like that female character, that partner to in the story. Like she brings out this new side of like development to him. So there could be something about that. Anyways, let's hop into your Pinterest board. So with Pinterest, that's what I'm getting with your thumbnail, but let's see what messages come out with Pinterest. So we have this little image here. It's of the girl and the guy from Spy Family, and then Anya, and she's like laughing in the middle between them. She could be, I'm kind of getting like she's kind of catching the tension between them, and he's like blushing, so she's laughing because she could read everybody's mind. So she could be reading his mind, knowing that he has got like a crush on her or something. Some people could view you to be like their mind readers. Maybe you're really good at like reading people's minds, or just like understanding maybe where they're coming from. Another thing is people could find you to be very cute. You could have an adorable face, very cute face. People could want to like bite you, or maybe leave like some hickeys or little cute little Hey, Keys. And we have, darling, don't go cut your hair. Do you think that's going to make him change? Another thing we have is taking a shower. It says, she's literally me. I'm so confused. I'm sensitive, you know. I'm too pretty to be messed with. Do you think we will be able to keep him? And then there's this girl playing with these goats. There's a girl sitting on a throne with this guy, like, holding her legs. It's like she's on the throne. So how men view you is maybe you are somebody that likes to be in control, or there could be something about you, how men view you is like they put you on a pedestal and they see you as this, like, queen. We also have, look at what the cat dragged in with Spider-Man, and I believe her name is Felicia. So there could be something about, like, it's a little bit, I'm kind of getting, like, when I first initially saw this, because this did pop up in one of my other readings, I was kind of getting, like, passive aggressiveness. She's like, oh, look what the cat dragged in. But, like, obviously it's just being playful, but he's kind of, like, defeated. So there could be something about maybe some resentment or anger. Also, another big thing about this anime is about revenge, seeking revenge, and having a lot of anger. So there could be something about, like, how men view you is maybe you're healing your anger and your revenge, or wanting to get revenge on the people that maybe have hurt you in the past. We also have, we're very sorry, and then there's this white kitty that says, you bit! And it's like that one duo. So people could feel like maybe you were like this white cat, you're kind of just like in fight or flight mode, constantly wanting to fight people, or like lash out or react, maybe because you're still, like, you know, in the beginning phases of healing and learning to let go and find inner peace and forgiveness for yourself, because, you know, the people who have hurt you, honestly, they could go fuck themselves. Forgiveness is not about them. Forgiveness is about you. Finding forgiveness is so that you stop focusing on them and hoping and praying on their downfall, and start pouring all that energy back into yourself and making your life a happier, and like becoming your own adult to making your life more happier for you. You deserve to live a happy life. You don't need to stoop to other people's level. So there could be something about that, pile one. We also have the piano teacher. Maybe some of you guys play piano. There could be some sort of romance, maybe like making out in the bathroom. We have don't ask, bad day, good day. We have seaweed florals. There's a guy kissing her shoulder. How men view you is maybe you have really kissable like shoulders, or maybe you could also have a really nice chest. You could be dealing with somebody. Oh, actually, let me get more information, then maybe if it comes out again, I'll say it. It says midnight kiss. People could want to kiss you at night. How men view is like you look very kissable at night, or maybe there's like certain people that just want to talk to you at night. It says if you don't see the vision of a 𝐸𝑋𝑒𝓇𝓎 animated show, it's on you. Another thing I'm getting is how men view is maybe you are somebody that you could be healing, and maybe you found a loving partner that's here to like protect you. There could be something about like safety, feeling unsafe, and almost like finding a partner. People may feel like you are creating your own safe space, and maybe you found a really upstanding person who has and who is your protector. And maybe it's even you. Like you protecting yourself. But there could be someone else here who also wants to protect you and be like almost like your bodyguard. I'm also kind of getting like wanting to defend you, wanting to protect you. There could be something about it says access to my energy is a privilege. It says, you're not getting old, you just need to stretch. It says, oh, so she decided to start living the life she imagined. We also have this beautiful baddie in this little bikini here. There's this other, I always see this like couple here. He looks like he got like beat up, and she is there with like a rag, basically to help clean him or something, or take care of him. How men view is maybe to be like a caretaker, or that you're always going to like help them when they're down or something. Pile 1, if that resonates, there could be something to do some sort of shadow work towards codependency and trauma bonding. And what else do we have? There could be something about a beautiful wedding. You could look really good in lace. How men view used to look very good in lace. What else do we have here? Maybe something about a bag. You could have a really beautiful necklace. It says episode 10 to episode 46. There could be something about you growing, you expanding, you changing. There could be something about how men view is like you've grown, you've changed. Literally, people could feel like you've gotten like older and you've changed. There could also be something about maybe you have like a brother that for some of you, that maybe you guys like always fight even when you were little to the even now, like you guys are still fighting, or still having the same fights. Could be something. It could also just be but in like more of like a comedic way, like it's kind of funny that, you know, it's almost like in a loving way. Maybe you guys like grew up in a family where it was like constant fighting, and like that was their way of showing love, and that could be something that you're not looking to repeat in your loving romantic relationships, and trying to let go of like showing, like starting to show love in an actual loving way rather than fighting to love. We also have here, I think his name is Blue Wing or something, or Nightwing, and Starlight, and he said, I think of you when I'm not alone. He says, you make you sound slightly mischievous. I was going for a lot more than mischievous. And then they start kissing. People could feel like you are mischievous. We also have, he didn't reply. Stop thinking about him. He sucks. There could be something about like your friends, or how men view you as like maybe you have like a group of girls that like have your back and like are looking out for you. Or how men view is maybe like they could feel like maybe they're bad for you in some way. Maybe they're coming from a place of lack of self-worth. There could be someone who wants to be romantic with you too. Be something about hugging, admiring you, loving you. It says God of War. Gap tooth girl. Maybe some of you guys have a gap tooth. Looking like a Barbie, smoking like a Marley. That's funny. You guys could be good at basketball or something. All right. Receiving a lot of money, big booty. And we have, I guess you two will never know what might have been. Maybe some people, you could also maybe take like FaceTime your partner, and people could feel like you look really good on FaceTime. There could be something about pile 1, how maybe you've ended a past connection with somebody. And how men view is like you're kind of like letting go of the need to get revenge on them, or needing to know like what could have been or how they feel, and you're kind of just like coming to terms or finding peace with that. But yeah, that is what I have for you with your Pinterest board. Let's see what Love Radio has to say. So how do men view, we did get this one. This song initially, when I first shuffled it, it says I Like You, and it's Post Malone and Doja Cat. And also, not to start talking about like Doja Cat and Doja Cat's drama, but I've noticed a lot, like coming from a place of like going through my own self-healing journey, I noticed that Doja Cat struggles a lot mentally, and it seems like she struggles a lot mentally. When it comes to like, do you guys remember that whole situation? I'm gonna just say this real quick and then we'll get past it because I know not everybody probably wants to listen. But do you guys remember that situation where a fan was trying to give her a shirt and she was like, I don't want your stinky shirt anyways, and like threw it in the trash or something? But like in the moment when she first met him, she was being really nice, and then afterwards like basically came out with this backlash towards him and was like attacking him for some reason out of nowhere. And if you really think about it, there was probably some sort of traumatic situation in her mind where she felt disrespected in some way and wasn't setting healthy boundaries with her fans. And in a way, like, it's almost like she blew up and she attacked him, you know? It was like she was in survival mode. So, and it kind of reminds me of Berserk a little bit in this, like, thumbnails, because, like, he's constantly on attack mode, and it's because he came from a place of darkness. He came from having to constantly fight to survive and mentally, like, struggled. So there could be something about, like, deep shadow wounds that are at play in this reading. So how men view you, there could be something about that. We have I Like You. So there could be definitely someone, it says a happier song. So this could be maybe you're healing from the darkness as well. It says, I like you. It says, oh girl, I like you. I do. I want to be your friends. Go shopping in the Benz. I like you. I like you. I do. I like you. I want to hit you when I land. Can you fit me in your plans? I like you. I do. Went over to France. We woke up in Japan. I like you. I do. Oh girl, I know you like it fancy. So I pull up in 𝒹𝑒𝒸𝑘𝓎. Yeah, your boyfriend will never understand me. Maybe you guys are in a... Maybe for some of you guys are already in a relationship, and this could be like outside third-party individuals, like looking towards your relationship. Maybe they're like coming from a place of trauma. If you aren't like, if you're really healing and doing the work, Pile 1, and you're kind of like, maybe this is a past connection of someone who needed to do the work and had a lot of issues, struggling mentally, this could be some of it could be like coming from their perspective. So we have, cause I'm about to pull this girl like a hammy, that's funny. Let's take a dip. Maybe some of you guys pulled a hammy. Little lady hit PC 180. Yeah, I've been thinking lately that I need someone to save me. Maybe people want you to come save them. It says, now that I'm famous, I got holes all around me, but I need a good girl. How men view is to be a good girl. I need someone to ground me. People feel like they need you to ground them. It says, please be true, don't mess with me. I need someone to share their heart with me. Fill you up, then run it back again. Fill you up? What the fuck? There could be something about maybe victim mentality and feeling like they need other people to come save them. Another thing how men view you is like maybe you feel this way, or maybe this is how people are perceiving you, maybe. We also have fill you up and then run it back again. There could be something maybe 18 plus with that. It says, oh girl, I like you, I do. I want to be friends, go shopping in the Benz. Cause I've been trying to hit all week, babe. Why you acting all sweet? I know you want a little old me. I get a little OD, but ain't shit new to a freak. Let me drop bands, pull jewels in your teeth. He loves the way I drip. Turn the pool to the beach. I could cop a Birkin, but I cop Celine. Why we got the same taste for finer things? How men view you is like maybe you and them both have like similar taste in finer things. Brand new blank with the same old team. Now he got me on a leash because he said no strings. There could be, for some of you guys, this could be like a situationship that was like, oh, like I don't want anything serious, but like still has some way wrapped you around their finger, or like got you attached maybe with their game or their woohooing. You know I'm cool with that. Stole the blank, you ain't get sued for that. Wondering what a blank must do for that. I could be your cha-cha to your Rufus. 80s in the Benz, roof back. Want to see you get attached. Don't want to see us get too attached. I just got feelings that we might be friends for a long time. You don't mind. You know I like you for that. Oh girl, I like you. I do. And yeah. So that could be your song. This could be what resonates. The color gray could also be significant, which is about like the color gray is like, I love the color gray because it always reminds me of the saying about like black and white thinking. You know, when people think about black and white thinking, it's like, well, no, life isn't black or white. It isn't this or that. It's always a little bit a mix in between, and that is what the beautiful gray is. It's like, and it could also represent the color gray, finding inner peace, finding like this just blank space for something new. So that is what I have with your love radio. Let's see what we have with your index messages, and then we'll hop into your tarot. So what do we have for pile 1's index messages? We have, you are so beautiful. So how men view you is to be very beautiful. We also have, people are secretly talking good behind your back. How else do men view pile 1? People feel like you'd be a millionaire. You have a lot of money, that you know, maybe have like your own business. People feel like maybe you guys make music or like maybe share similar music tastes. Maybe when they listen to a thong. Oh my god, maybe something about that. Maybe when they listen to a song, they think about you. People could want to be romantic with you or feel like you are romantic. There could be something about an anxious attachment. There could be something about you feel like you are someone who's unconditional and you give love without reason. People could feel like you received a job that you've always wanted. Good for you, love. We also have, people could really love your smile. How men view you is to have a beautiful smile. Wow. There could also be someone that wants to say that they love you. So that's what I have with your index messages. Let's see what your tarot cards have to say. So I chose specific decks to resonate a little bit with the thumbnail, because I feel like this thumbnail is a little bit more on the darker side. So I wanted to pick more like deeper talking decks that go a little bit more introspective. So let's see what it has to say for us. Okay, pile 1. So what your cards are giving. Let me first pull out 6 of Swords here. Because this deck, for some reason, doesn't have like a definitive definition for this card, which is kind of interesting. And I can't tell if it's in reverse or not. It's like almost like the same upright or in reverse. So that's a little... I assume it's upright. But I'm also kind of getting that it could be in reverse as well, because there's some other messages. Okay, so... my beautiful pile 1s, how men view you is you are very strong. We have building strength here with the number 6. Also, we have 6 came out. So the devil card could definitely be at play, which is like our egos, shadow self. And we kept getting like talking about demons. Like this, she's literally slaying a demon in this card. And then literally in your thumbnail, the whole story is like he fights like these monsters, these demons. And if you really think about it, like when people saying like, oh, he's fighting demons right now, it's more of like he's fighting his thoughts, he's fighting his mind, he's fighting his ego. And I know that this is kind of like my own take on the topic. As somebody who loves therapy, loves psychology, I truly believe that demons and the devil are just your, like, a part of yourself. It's like your shadow self. And even in tarot, the devil card represents your shadow self. The parts you don't like about yourself. The parts like the ego, the egocentristic part of yourself. The id. So, for some of you, pile 1, people feel like you could be very in maybe your ego at the moment. You know, trying to protect yourself, trying to defend yourself, you know, fighting for what it is you believe in or what it is you need, or maybe you're having, you know, people may be viewing you to have like, listen, pile 1, I'm going to tell you some resolutions, okay? Just because we're talking about these things doesn't mean that I'm just going to leave you off with nothing, no sort of like resolution, okay? There may be some deeper topics in this, But know that I'm here to support you, babe. You could talk to me in the comments, and I also just want to say you're doing an amazing job. You're doing your very freaking best. And you're doing amazing, sweetie. I just want to make it clear of what these cards are saying so that we could better analyze it. So, with the specific building of strength card, it says, I am strong. My body, my mind, my spirit are resilient. It's time to move and strengthen your body in a new way. Consider a new fitness class or exercise video. Maybe you guys are stepping into fitness. Maybe what I'm getting is how men view is to be very not only mentally strong, intuitively strong, but also physically strong. You could be very strong when it comes to your mind and sticking to what it is you believe in and sticking to what it is you want to do for yourself and not letting people change what you believe. And like, for example, you don't let people gaslight you. You don't let people manipulate you. You don't let people shake your wits or like try to destroy your foundation you built for yourself. You don't like let these toxic people get to you. Another thing I'm getting, how men view is like, you're not only strong, but I'm also getting with this card, I thought of the song, Shot to the heart, but you're too late, darling, you see love a bad name, or you give love a bad name. So there could be something about that song, but how men view is like, maybe you give love a bad name, or bad rap. Maybe you look love very negatively, and that could be playing a part to maybe who you are attracting. There could be something about you also being a heartbreaker. Maybe some men view you to be a little bit of a heartbreaker. The 10 of stakes is the 10 of wands, which is like almost like someone carrying too much on their shoulders. Maybe you're people pleasing. Maybe people feel like you're a people pleaser, or maybe you tend to take on what other people are dealing with. It could be heavy codependency in this reading. If you guys relate to that and you want to do some sort of self-help and heal those habits, because those habits can really sabotage your relationships. There could be something about you letting go of codependency and trying to fix everybody or trying to change people. And know that if somebody chooses to play the victim of their life, you can't change the way they perceive life. You cannot change them. The beautiful thing is that there's actually an image that I saw on my phone today that was like the road to trying to fix people, and there's like tens of thousands of people on this road, and then it was like the road to fixing yourself, and it was like one or two people. And this is the road you want to head down, because it's easier for someone to pull you down to their level than for somebody to lift you up, or for you to lift somebody else up. So keep doing you and don't let anybody pull you down. There could be a lot of energy and beautiful energy that you have that you're letting be and getting depleted by these vampires, these energy suckers that are just stealing your energy because you're giving it to them. And you're giving it too much of them. And it's maybe because you feel bad, but listen, babe, do not feel bad for these mother truckers. They're selfish. Don't let this narcissistic type of people into your energy no longer. This could be something that you are already healing and people have been noticing. This could be how men view you. It's like they've been noticing this change. They've been noticing you've been stronger. You've been, rocking people a little bit harder. Maybe you've been more on the attack mode, but listen, that's just the first couple stages of once you start to find more of a healthier balance of how to respectfully, set boundaries. Sometimes you just need to yell at people and be like, listen, respect my boundary, bitch. So like, it's part of the process. Like, I know for me, when I first started setting boundaries with people, I was a lot more aggravated, a lot more angry, and a lot more in my survival mode when doing it because I wasn't used to it and it was uncomfortable. And, I'd be like, listen, a little bit more on the mean side, a little bit more reactive, a little bit more aggressive. But I know later down the line, as I got more comfortable with it, the easier it got for me. And the more I was like, you know what, I don't want to be mean while I set boundaries, because I know when I'm mean, when I want to set boundaries, it's not going to make people actually want to respect my boundary. So there could be something about you just like going through the process, love. And how men view is like you have this inner strength. So that's what I have with this. It says, what makes you feel strong? And it says, Remember to not get caught up in the physical appearance. Strength can manifest in the body in many different ways. To maintain focus, think of your goal you'd like to accomplish when requiring some strength. Focus on the outcome you wish to attain instead of how you want your body to look. It says, most importantly, be sure to celebrate yourself in reaching this goal. It says, what makes you feel strong? And then the 10 of stakes here represents upright. It says, Buffy may have been chosen to stand alone against the demons and vampires and the forces of darkness, but the prophecy never said that she had to like it. The X of stakes finds you feeling like you're doing the most and it asks you to pause. Reflect on how much you've taken on. Remind yourself that it is only temporary. Maybe you guys have been like working really hard, or been like working, like taking on too much things. Also maybe people pleasing others. And this could be something to ask yourself, where are your priorities? Where do they lie? And prioritize more of yourself, because you come first. Family's, a priority, and loved ones are a priority, but don't let your life revolve around them, because then you'll be living somebody else's life. So that's what I have with that card. It says, know that everything's temporary. Everything you're doing is aligned with your greater good, and you are so close to reaching them. There could be something about you working really hard towards your goals, ambitions, maybe specifically your physical strength, and you're doing an amazing job with that. How men view is like you're doing a great job. They've been seeing improvement. Your body's looking great. And even if it's not to where it is you want to be, guess what? It's about celebrating the little things, and it's about being appreciative of what it is you have now and enjoying the now. So another thing we have is the clock, these 6 of swords. So the 6 of swords says transition, rite of passage, change, releasing baggage. There could be something about how people have viewed you, Pi1, is maybe you going to the gym and working out physically has really helped with your anxiety. Maybe it's been helping with your mind, getting more focused or more clear, more spiritually strong, having more faith within yourself, having more, strength mentally, physically. And people have been noticing that you've been less anxious. You've been just like overall, just like having this like self-development journey and having more guts, like really just having more guts. We also have personal transition, resistance to change, unfinished business. There could be something about how men view is like to have unfinished business with certain people. Maybe people feel like they have unfinished business with you. Maybe there was some pain or heartbreak left residual of a certain person, and maybe it's still bringing you anxiety, or maybe there's a specific person that for some of you, maybe you guys are like needing to walk away from, and the universe is with these cards is saying like how men view you is like you really need to walk away from this person in order to benefit your own life, because sometimes when you're so like distracted inside of it and inside the relationship, and when you finally take a step back, you finally realize how much of their energy they have been truly sucking away from you. Another thing too is there could be something about resisting change. So there could be something about, for some of you guys, how men view you is like maybe you've been trying to resist like conflict or change, or trying to like stick towards something that maybe has been causing you a lot more harm than good. For example, maybe chewing, like taking on too much than you could chew, or people pleasing, or like just whatever, like certain habits, like egocentric habits, or like shadow self habits that have been holding you back, that you have been really resolving or healing. People have been noticing this. We also have the Ace of Wands, which talks about a new beginning towards a new passion. People have been noticing that maybe you've started something new, started some new passion, new creative endeavor, maybe even a new love interest. There could be something about that. So let me read exactly what the Eight of Wands says, or Ace of Wands. People, how men view you is to be very inspiring. People feel like you're constantly, like now you're constantly having new opportunities, or maybe there's something about like you having to walk away from something that really is causing you to have all these beautiful new opportunities, and you're doing an amazing job and people are so happy for you. Pile 1. People also feel like you've been growing exponentially. And you know what's so ironic is we have the swords card, and literally your thumbnail is about a swordsman, the way he wields the sword. And then in tarot, the swords represent conflict. So there could be something about the way you handle conflict could have changed, and people have really been noticing it. You're kind of like very protective of yourself. Maybe you've been having better boundaries with yourself. You're like putting people in their place. You're fighting, being like, listen, respect me, mother trucker. If you don't respect me, get the hell up out my face. And maybe in a little bit like your more peaceful way. Or maybe just hella aggressively, like fuck, like let's get it. And there could also be something about like really just the way you handle conflict. There's something about conflict in this reading. And then lastly, with the clock here, we have the third gift. It says, before us, the clock sits as a relentless presence on the ledge. With the Grim Reaper, there's so much about like darkness in this reading. That's so crazy. Like the Grim Reaper is literally here to like reap and like steal people's souls, and I don't know. There's just like heavy darkness in this reading. And not in like a negative way. Like even though obviously what I'm saying is like would be assumed negatively, what I'm getting is like it's almost like letting go of the past, letting go of what has hurt you, letting go of this shadow self, or working with your shadow self, having like a better balance with your ego or this shadow side to you, your pain, your traumas. And the Grim Reaper is like literally like something that cuts things out of people's lives, or like kills things off basically. So like there could be things that you're literally ending out of your life. It says, the hands weep across the face, cutting our lifespan down with each past second. In reverse, it says, wasting time, ignoring the inevitable, not using one's life to its potential, a temporary situation. There could be something about, for some of you people, how men view is like maybe you've been wasting your time with a certain individual, maybe a certain male who's, for some of you, this could be someone who's kind of just like, oh, I'm not looking for anything serious, a situationship. And maybe you've been feeling like that's not really what you want. Maybe you've been wanting something more serious, and you're kind of just like, there could be, maybe you've been feeling like you've been wasting your time with this person, or maybe others are kind of just like, you know, feeling like you deserve better and that this person's just wasting your time. So there could be something about how people view you as like there could be something about people wanting to, maybe you're stepping into like no longer, you could be stepping into your higher self, stepping into what the things that you actually want instead of looking for the short-term pleasures. Like there could be some of you that are actually looking for something serious, actually looking for commitment, actually looking for loyalty and real, true, divine love and affection, instead of like falling for these, you know, individuals that are confused and lost in their life. And there's nothing wrong with being lost, but there could be something about like staying away from people that aren't looking to be healed or aren't looking to be found. They're kind of just like to be lost, and they like to have chaotic lives, and they like to play the victim of their life. So there could be something about pile one is like you're walking away from those types of people, and you're no longer ignoring the end and having to, maybe some people view like this connection will end, or that this connection, this person is just not like meant for you, and or not like is like, again, just wasting your time. Or maybe people feel like maybe you've been wasting your time with things that aren't making you happy, things that are just like distracting you, keeping you you know, distracted from your true potential. And listen, if what you're doing makes you happy, that's all that fucking matters, and I'm sure that they're happy for you. But there could be, for some of you, maybe you guys aren't doing the things that make you happy, and there could be things that you're constantly falling into these bad habits that have been holding you back from your truest potential and happiness. And people have been noticing, and they're like, you know, saying like, you know, I wish pile one the best, and I hope that pile one, you know, follows their true path, which is, I hope they're happy, and I hope they fulfill their true happiest life because they deserve it. But also know that other people's expectations are not yours, babe. You do what makes you happy. So that is what I have for your reading, my beautiful pile ones. If you enjoyed it, make sure to check out my Patreon if you'd like to see the extended reading. We'll probably have some 18+ messages, but we'll also talk about a little bit more in depth about the messages we received in this reading. If you'd like to hear more about it or learn a little bit more, or like, yeah, you could check that out there. Or if you'd like to get your own personal reading, you can as well. So you could check out my little 𝐸𝑋𝑒 tab. If you'd like to, treat yourself to a little reading, we could talk a little bit more deeply about certain things, or we could be a little bit more lighthearted, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. And it's all just about having fun and, treating yourself. So if you guys are interested, but if not, no worries. Thank you so much for just watching my videos and leaving likes and commenting. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And I'll see you in one of the next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile twos. If you chose this 222 card, this will be your reading on how do men view you. So, if you chose this image, this is a girl she's like one of the antagonists from Chainsaw Man. So we'll talk a little bit more about that character in a sec, and like that could play some parts to this reading. But anyways, 222 could also represent your relationships, your loving relationships, romantic, platonic, it don't matter, loved ones. It could also represent like family connections and just like receiving and giving love. So this is how men could view you, is like you could have really good relationships with others. You could be a great friend, a great romantic lover, a great family member, sibling. People could also feel like you're really good at like giving and receiving love. Okay, so let's hop into your Pinterest board. So what does Pinterest have to say to our beautiful pile twos? So how do men view pile two? People feel like you're wifey material or husband material. Definitely getting that right off the bat. People could want to have like a lot of kids with you. We have Please Don't Kill Me, Mr. Ghostface. Please don't hit me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. You guys know that like line from Scream? There could be something about you being very witty and funny, even in like the more like what is it? More inappropriate times. Like just being humorous in like the wrong time. Maybe you cope with humor. Or there could be something about how men view you as like you could just be very funny, and you make like light of certain situations, like to have fun. There could also be something about maybe you quote a lot of movies. Yeah, so we have me leaving the house 2 hours late because good things take time. How men view you is like you maybe take a lot of time and care into your look, and you like to take your time, and you're like, listen, I'm not in a fucking rush. I need to stop cursing. We have what it's like to date me. You could be someone really funny to date. Maybe people feel like clingy in a good way. People feel like you maybe are like attached to them at the hip, and you like to be like on top of them, and they could really like that. It says, I have my man in a leg hold to keep him close. You could also, again, we keep getting like funny. We have Catman and Batman. I meant Catwoman and Batman. We have Do you want to see something? What you want to see? Maybe there's something about you being like a tease. You being like, oh, do you want to see something? You want to see something? We have I'm selfish, impatient, I'm a little insecure, I make mistakes, I'm out of control, and that's sometimes hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell do not handle me at my best, or cannot have me at my best. If my soulmates do exist, they're not found, they're made. You could have really nice nails. It says, maybe you, like, make soulmates. You, like, actually put in the work to have beautiful connections with people. It says, like a dream in a dream. Like a dream in a dream. People feel like you are a dream. It says, how come every time I see you, you're always looking like a bum? I'm dead. So another thing I'm getting with your thumbnail for some of you guys, people could feel like you're very dominant because this character, it literally says she's like the, her character, like, arc is literally about domination. And she purposely dominates who she finds to be, like, weaker. Like, she likes to find, like, weaker men to control and, like, manipulate. That's just who your character is. She's an antagonist, okay? So there could be something about having, like, something about that with you, pile 2. Maybe how men view you is, like, maybe you like to prey off of, like, people that have, like, no backbone or something. Or maybe you, like, date certain people so that you could, like, tell them what to do. Or maybe there could be something about, like, control or dominance. Maybe you like to be the more dominant person in the relationships. Obviously that may not resonate with everybody, but that's just what the thumbnail message is giving me. So I figured I'd say it. We do have happy 2025 to me. It says Zendaya and Tom Holland. I'm not a chubby crybaby. I hate it when you guys fight. I'm sensitive, you know, I'm confused. No one wants to be me. I don't know. Maybe for some of you, maybe feel like you guys could be in your head a little bit. Maybe for some of you guys have had, like, birthdays recently. It says me watching Gilmore Girls, me recommending Gilmore Girls. There could be something about being confused, feeling confused. People feel like maybe you, like, purposely, like, you could be someone who's maybe a little manipulative with the way you pose your body. And, like, obviously manipulation in a way is not the best, but there could be something about you being, like, you may sit a certain way, or you know, pose your chest a little in a certain way, or you look at somebody with flirty eyes in a certain way, and then you ask them a question because you're, you know, deep down you're wanting them to say yes. You could be doing, like, these little hints of manipulation in order to get what you want, and it may not even be in, like, big ways. It could just be, like, little tiny ways, but, like, also in a way you maybe do it, like, really cute and sexily, and people, how men view you is, like, there could be something about that they really like. There could be maybe some specific men that like when you're dominant, or maybe there could be, for some of you, maybe you guys are, like, submissively, like, I'm just gonna say it quickly, okay, and then we'll change the topic. But maybe, like, submissively manipulative as well, like being like, oh, people pleasing, hoping that they would do something in return, but then they don't, and then you get mad at them. So yeah, steak and fries, that looks freaking delicious. It says some days your heart won't feel heavy anymore. It says sometimes things fall apart so better things can fall together. How else do men view pile 2? We keep getting Zendaya. For someone who don't like me, you're giving me too much attention. I'm dead. There could be something about sticking up the middle finger at somebody. This doesn't make you any less of a man. There could be something about what you say. How men view is, like, maybe something that you say could be, like, you pick and choose what it is you say. There could be something about you being very, maybe, loving towards men when they show their emotions, and, like, not throwing it back in their face when they do. For some of you, there could be something about, it says, school yearbook, still queen though. There could be something about you having a really cute, like, school yearbook photo. I hate sand. And there's freaking, I'm so dead, that's so funny. You guys ever watch Star Wars and how he's, like, that little quote of him being like, I hate sand. And it's, like, the cheesiest line. But it's also, like, one of the best lines. There could be something about you being more on the, very, I'm just getting, like, her. but she's more on like the 18 plus, thinking like dirty thoughts, and he's more of like just the little sentimental gestures. There could be something about you being very, maybe you like, there could be something about how men view you. If none of the previous messages matched at all, this could just be something about maybe how men view you is like you like to date men that you make nervous. There could be something about you make a lot of men nervous, and that's something that you may really like. It's like you like to make men nervous. You like to make, you could be very confident, and you like to purposely like hypnotize and, you know, be a little bit, you know, in that way towards men, and it definitely may drive them wild sexually, but also you make them nervous, even in the littlest things like wanting your affection. Another thing too that it said about the thumbnail, last thing, is it said that she like withdraws showing affection. She purposely like, she knows that this certain person wants affection from her, but she purposely like withdraws from it to like get her way, or you know, teases him with it, thinking that he's gonna get it, but then doesn't. So there could be something about that. Okay, besides the Pinterest board, let's see what your cards have to say. It'll probably be a lot better. But wait, let's actually do index messages. So people could be wondering how you feel about them. People could be crushing on you, how men view you as like you're their crush. I just thought of shiny teeth and me. 𝐸𝑋𝑒𝑒, Luke Skywalker, I didn't mean to say that. What's the other one? It's like Luke, well, you know what I'm talking about, from Timmy Turner. They're like, shiny teeth and me. There could be something about someone wanting to take you out on a date night. People could feel like you hide their feelings. Maybe you might come off as cold, but like people feel like you do deep down really care about them. Or maybe people feel like you play with them. There could be something about scars. Maybe people feel like you have your scars, or there could be something about people feel like you leave scars. There could also be something about how men view you is like, I can see the love in your eyes. Yeah, people could be like hypnotized by your eyes, definitely. It says, you turn me on so badly, and I wish you knew how I feel about you. Okay, so that's what I have with your index messages. Let's see what we have with your love radio, and then we're going to hop into your cards. Just like the dust in space. Okay, we're gonna shuffle. It's Fortnite. Post Malone has been in all these songs. So give me something about Post Malone. I was supposed to be sent away, but forgot to come and get me. I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic. All of this to say, I hope you're okay, but you're the reason, and no one here to blame. But what about your quiet treason? And for a fortnight there, we were forever running into you sometimes, ask about the weather. Now you're in my backyard, turned into good neighbors. Your wife waters flowers. I want to kill her. All my mornings are Mondays, stuck in an endless February. Took the miracle move on drug. The effect were temporary. I love you. It's ruining my life. I love you. It's ruining my life. Touch you for... I let go of my past regrets. Be something about that. I touch you for only a fortnight. Fortnight? I touch you, and for a night there we were forever running into you, sometimes asking about the weather, yada yada, X, Y, and Z. Now you're at the mailbox, turned into good neighbors. My husband is cheating. I want to blank him. I love you. It's ruining my life. What the frick? There's a whole lot of like third party, two party, three party, four party, five party situation. Thought of calling you, but I know you wouldn't pick up. Another lost in America. Move to Florida. Buy the car you want. It won't start up till you touch me. Thinking. Thought of calling you. Move to Florida. There was something about moving to Florida. So pile 2. For some of you, this could be something about like, it talks about a story of these neighbors, or like these people that became neighbors, that maybe they liked each other before they became neighbors, and they both have their own spouses, and she's talking about how she's thinking about him, even though like she's like unhappy with her marriage because she knows her husband's like cheating on her and she's thinking about him, but he's like maybe happy in his romantic relationship and not really like, you know, leaning into it. So he's like kind of like ignoring it, not really like, you know, feeding into that. And so there could be something about pile 2. There could be something about that. How men view is like maybe you're like the girl next door, the hot girl next door. Something about Florida could be significant. There could also be something about being neighbors. Maybe people view you as like a hot neighbor. Or there could be something about people being in love with you and they feel like it's ruining their life, like they can't seem to get over you. Maybe they're in a relationship where their partner's cheating. Or maybe you are the like neighbor that's in love with them. Maybe they feel like you have feelings for them and they could be in a relationship and they're trying not to feed into that. There could be something about that. Okay, anyways, let's see what your cards have to say. Trying to deep and sparkle, just like the stars in space. We have 4. Bro, where's my 3rd card at? Oh, here it is. I was about to say. Okay, so pile 2. I got all the meanings of these decks right next to me. So the Ace of Mirrors, which is, I believe, the Ace of Swords, says fresh meat. So it says, at time when we're on the brink of a breakthrough, waiting on the inspired sense of clarity, a fresh prospect steps out of the limbo and onto the stage. This brings to light a unique set of ideas, giving us the perspective that we were entering a new realm where previously untapped possibilities are now available. How juicy. It says new ideas, clarity, breakthrough, new information. So pile 2, there could be something about you finding new information about a certain thing. How men view you is like maybe you're someone who is getting very clear about new things. Also with the fresh meat card, it's just giving me like you're fresh meat, like you're new. How men view you is like to be someone new, someone like fresh meat. Like it's almost like because you're new, people are more like, it's like, oh, this shiny new thing. Maybe you just like went to a new location or something, or maybe you met new people and like maybe all the men are like fawning over you because not only are you hot, pile 2, because we did get the Page of Wands, which is literally like a hot baddie, but not only are you hot and like people are just like, even if it's in your control or not, people are like lusting over you, but I think you just have a way of also like maybe in a way it's like maybe you like that and you purposely like posing yourself to look cute and you're like but I think people like how men view you is like to be like fresh meat, and there could be something about you, they're kind of just like hoping that you won't get to know who they actually are so that you still like flirting with them or something. Like there could be something about, because you're new, it's like you don't really know them and they don't really know you, and there could be something about, it's like almost like there's an expression of like a crush is just a lack of information about a person. So there could be something about like maybe you are, and like that's just a negative way of looking at it. You know, you could have beautiful crushes on people and still love them for every aspect of them, but there could be something about specifically with this reading is like there could be someone in particular that maybe you have a crush on, but like you don't really know who they are, and you're like daydreaming about them, or they could be really stuck daydreaming about you. I'm getting heavy daydreaming about you. Maybe there's someone in a relationship that they're not happy with and they're straight up daydreaming about you, pile 2. So that could be how men view you, is like you are their, you know, fantasy, your dream fantasy, their dream girl, their dream everything, but for some reason they can't seem to work their way up to be confident enough to step to you because for some reason they're worried that you have this alter ego or some sort of devilish side to you that they, you know, it's like, I don't know. But it says new ideas, clarity, breakthroughs, and information. 4 of Cups talks about self-reflection. So there could be something about like how men view you is like you're not only very smart. There could be something about a lot of air signs. We have Ace of Swords, we have Seven of Swords. Literally, the whole reading is giving me swords energy because pile 1 and pile 2 literally talks about swordsmen. And, yeah, so there could be something about just, like, a lot of conflict in these readings between a couple people. But, and we're getting all the answers here. We're getting all down to the fucking root of it. But, there could be heavy about not knowing this person, because we do have the Seven of Swords right next to it. Oh my god. And Seven of Swords says, upright, says, betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically. Yeah, people feel like you may act strategically. People could feel like maybe how men view you is like, again, like you are a little she-devil or like man-eater or like someone who like specifically says certain things to be very flirtatious. It's like almost like you say all the right things and they feel like it's a little bit too good to be true. And maybe you don't even try to do that on purpose. Maybe for some of you, this could be something that, you know what, I'll say that, I'll just say it. It's going to be a little bit deep. It's a little bit of a deep message, okay? But this could be something for some of you that maybe you guys struggled with male validation and like seeking it, so it's almost like you want to be everybody's dream girl so that people all approve of you. But in reality, it's almost like not letting you meet the right one or like actually good men because like you're keeping yourself away from being genuinely who it is yourself and not letting people see you for who you genuinely are. So people feel like you're, acting strategically or you're, saying all the right things to like persuade them into loving you. But in reality, it's like you don't need to do that. And it could be coming from a place of lack of self-worth, like you feel like you need to do that. But you don't. Girl, you is beautiful just by who it is you are. You're outstanding and wonderful just who it is you are. That could be for some of you. If that doesn't resonate, how men view is to almost, like I said, be their dream girl. Be their, like, forever after. It's almost like people are hypnotized by you, hypnotized by your curves, your eyes, and just, like, feel like it's almost too good to be true. But they're like obsessed with you. People are like caught daydreaming about you. People are like stuck on you. And there could definitely be someone who's in a relationship even thinking about you, pile 2. Because we did get that. With the Four of Wands, let's talk about the Four of Cups first. The Four of Cups here says, as soon as the journeyer in Cups reaches a point of celebration, we have 4-4 could be significant, the number 4. Depression sets in. The Three of Cups of yesterday's celebration are now forgotten, and the journeyer rests her head on a table, lost in the melancholy. She is so lost in the melancholy that she does not notice the mysterious hand that comes through the window. But that hand, despite its sinister appearance, is not here to harm her. It's there to present her with an emotional gift, and life is sometimes like that. At the lowest point, the universe presents us as with an offer, and we don't always recognize it for what it is. There could be something about, for some of you guys, how men view you is like, you may be so stuck in, maybe you are hypnotized by somebody else, and so lost in the sauce with somebody else, that you're so lost that you can't see the other beautiful, like, men that are looking to be with you, wanting to, be your forever partner. There could be something about that. Maybe for some of you, it's like you guys aren't seeing clearly about a specific person. If you're coming from pile 1, this could definitely be talking about, like, again, walking away from a person, and not seeing, like, maybe you haven't gotten the full, knowledge of who this person is yet. And there could be other men out here that are looking at you like wanting to be with you, wanting to offer you a love connection, maybe take you out on a date. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Let's actually talk about the Four of Wands here first, which is literally the celebration card. So like almost after celebrating, she's like, she's almost like reminiscing on the celebration rather than being in the present moment, like she's in a daydream. She's daydreaming. So it says, surrounded by lushness of spring, two witches wave their bouquet of flowers at the stairway leading to the city. Behind them, a circle of dancing people can be seen. The day is happy, a celebration of obtained results and a new beginning of a path, a communal feast, a personal tradition, a moment in which we retire to the space to regenerate. We experience a moment for ourselves and those we love. We celebrate being together and together on an unpredictable path of life. Positive says celebration, festivities, roots. So let's read what the agent of vitals, like the Knight of Cups, has to say. So the Knight of Cups says, upright, motivation, imagination, inspiration. It says, trust your gut, maintain your grip, and move forward. Simple. So pile 2, there could be something about maybe you feeling stuck. How men view you is like, maybe you celebrated, maybe you're starting to celebrate more in your life, maybe having more celebration, more happiness, looking more on the positives of things, instead of focusing on the negatives or all the bad luck that maybe you received. There could be something about, like, I love how this card said that life is unpredictable. You know, sometimes negative things happen and it's kind of out of your control, and to let those things be so in control on how it is you feel, it's almost like you are out of your own control of your emotions. So there could be something about maybe you finding more happiness, more appreciation, and reflecting more on just yourself and taking more time to relax and self-reflect. And when you're ready, you could take, get up. Like, this is like where he's sitting under a tree pondering. That's the original Rider-Waite of this card. So she's like pondering, she's daydreaming, she's thinking about the beautiful life, the beautiful romance, the beautiful thing that she wants. And pile 2, how people view you is like, you don't give up, you never give up on your dreams, your desires. And maybe you've been doing some reflection when it comes to love. People have been feeling like maybe you have found more information about somebody or something, and you're gathering more information on the things that you want to do, or like for your success, or like your career. Whatever it is that you don't fully know, like you're kind of like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side, you're starting to see that it's just like anything else. It's normal. There's ups and downs, there's goods and bads about everything. And there's an inner peace to that. There's something beautiful about that. Which means like you could be happy in the now. Like, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's also the same color as it is right in the present moment. I hope that makes sense. So there could be something about like you dreaming. For some of you, this could be with love, and you're dreaming for like a better partner. And there could be something about like whatever conflicts you're having with a certain individual, it may actually be better with somebody else. Love is a little bit different when it comes to career, but there could be something about like similar conflicts are continuously repeating themselves because of shadow work needing to be done. And then you could be finding clarity about that. And then lastly, with the Wheel of Fortune, it says, human research has shown we are cowardly and superstitious a lot. We believe that random events contain hidden meanings. Confronting them with a roll of dice, a tossed coin, or indeed a shuffled deck of cards such as these. A typical human would choose to interpret the occasion as an oblique judgment from an unimpeachable source. The Wheel of Fortune was a simple device used by humans to obtain a random answer to a question. What number will you think the wheel will stop on? For the purpose of wagering. In this context of the tarot, the Wheel of Fortune refers to all the joy and terrors that might befall within a lifetime. The Wheel of Fortune may be a foreteller of a boon, or may it such a setback. Always in motion. The good fortune of today may give you bad fortune tomorrow, and the conquered good news may well be another human's bad news, and vice versa. Life is continuously going up and down. I think how men view you is like, you do not let bad circumstances hold you back. You don't let like bad news or, setbacks or, things not working out when it comes to relationships or like any like just, negative things hold you back. You can feel sad about them. You may reminisce on them. You may give yourself the time to replenish yourself and get yourself back into where it is you want to go. But you look at all these things with beautiful gratitude and love and understanding that, the reason to why it didn't work out is because there's something else better for you out there. So pile 2, how men view you is like, you don't let the little things disrupt your happiness or your goals or, your dreams. And another thing too, how men view you is they view you as someone who likes to celebrate, who likes to, reminisce. There could be a lot of like potential lovers that are looking to give you a specific individual or who's emotionally intelligent that's looking to give you an offering of love. Definitely heavy in this reading. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful pile 2s. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you'd like to get yourself a personal reading and treat yourself, make sure to check it out over here. Or if you'd like to check out the extended reading to this pile, you can in my Patreon. It's linked in the description. So we'll talk more about this, a little bit more 18 plus messages if you'd like to see that. We'll be over there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in one of the next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 3s. If you chose this image, 333, as well as this image, this will be your reading on how do men view you. So, we have pre-shuffled tarot cards here, we have index messages, and then we have Pinterest board and love radio. So the first thing I want to do actually for your pile, which I think would be great, being the thumbnail that you chose, let's hop into the tarot first. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to hop into index messages, love radio, and then Pinterest board at the end. So if you'd like to wait to the Pinterest board, check that out. Alright, so the first thing that we got is how do men view you is philosophy, which is so crazy that we got this, pile 3, because your thumbnail is straight up of a character that does this self-development journey. He goes on this little journey after having a rough childhood and learns a lot about philosophy and stoicism. I think that's what it's called. So let me look up. I want to like reread what I said about this character, but it's from a anime called, I think it's called like Vagabond, and so I've read this in the pile selection, but basically this protagonist is based off of this guy in real life who was a swordsman, Japanese swordsman. His name is Mashu Miyato, I think. And it's like a fictional portray of him. But basically he was a swordsman, and I find it to be very interesting that pile 1 and pile 3 both are swordsmen, and when I think of swordsmen, I think of swords, about air sign, about conflict. It's like the way they wield their swords, the way they deal with conflict with others, right? The swords are about battle. So there's something about with you, pile 3, the way that you deal with conflict. People could really love the way that you deal with conflict. The energy I was really getting with you, pile 3, is you could be very calm, very cool, calm, collected, very wise, very knowledgeable, patient. Maybe you move a little bit slowly and are more peaceful and like zen. His thumbnail is really about being like zen and like leaving behind all of his need to fight. And it's such a beautiful story. And I don't know if you guys seen this character, but he's been all over my For You page of these like therapeutic / like motivational quotes about finding true happiness. So in the anime, it talks about his struggles and his struggles with his father. So there could be something about maybe you having struggles with your father. and how he was viewed as like the demon child because he had like better skills. He was like almost like the black sheep of the family. So that could be, you could resonate with these things. It also talked about like he was like in the war, fought when he was younger. He ended up moving to the mountains to be isolated, to be alone, and just to like practice with himself, his skills. And then finally he ultimately met this like teacher of someone who helped him calm the aggressive beast within him, his ego, and guided him towards a more mindful path. So basically his transition to more introspective philosophical teachings. The fact that this card came out, I was like, of course. I was like, literally the universe is here right now. Because the fact that this card came out and with your thumbnail, it's like, it just fits so perfectly. So let's look up some of the teachings he learned in this movie. Or show, I mean. So this could be something about maybe wanting to watch this anime. If some of you guys, this could be something about this anime could be significant to you in some way to watch it. It talks about this specific philosophy that I see, something about the flow of water. Something about like letting go could be very heavy, and the flow of water. We do have ocean here. You could have like Ocean Eyes, the song Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish could be significant. So it says the things that he learns and the shifts that he has is self-knowledge. Mishimi learns to look inward, confronting his fears and insecurities stemming from his past. He understands that true strength comes from mastering oneself rather than focusing solely on the physical prowess. Perspective and mindfulness, he moves beyond a narrow focus on the leaf, his desire for dominance, to see a tree and eventually the forest, a broader understanding of life. This shift allows him to appreciate the interconnectedness of things and the impact of his actions on others. Learning from defeat, Mishimi learns to view defeat as not failure but opportunities to learn and grow. The illusion of invincibility. His quest for invincibility eventually proves unfulfilling and leading him to realize that the true strength stems from a love for his craft and a sense of inner peace, rather than ruthless ambition or external validation. Wow, that could be heavy for some of y'all. We also have, because I always get something about, with pile 3, I always get like y'all having money bags, so that could be something definitely very significant. We have the meaning of life and compassion. Through encountering with ordinary people and the experience of farming, he begins to value the simplest forms and find purpose in helping others, says the medium. He realizes the kind and compassion form of strength. So that's what we have with your image. Another thing, how men view you, is like all these things could be things that you have taught others. There could be something about you are really wise with your own introspection, and maybe you don't even like project or like you try to teach others. It's more of like just coming from a place of, you know, people ask you. People are like, how are you so calm? How are you so, you know, how did you change into this? How do you learn to let go? And you've just already are like, you know, it's about understanding the flow of water, you know, like you have this like wise, like introspective thoughts that really, you know, make people think and ponder about life. You could also just be a ponderer. So that's what I have with that. And we have inner strength. Like the fact that this card came in reverse, inner strength. People feel like you are very internally, very wise and very strong. Also, how men view you is to be like this divine child. Actually, let's move this over here. We also have the Phoenix in reverse. There could be some serious personal transition, personal transformation in your life. Pile 3. And then we have the Brawler. It's also kind of interesting how I like laid it out kind of like the bottom of a sword. And I didn't do that on purpose. So, let's read into what these cards have to say. Wow. This is a pretty beautiful reading, Pile 3, and I'm really excited to get into this. So how do men view you, pile 3? I think not only men view you to be this way, but I also think just people in general view you in this light. They've noticed this big, drastic change within you. And there's something about like no longer fighting to win, no longer trying to fight everything and anything. And in a way, like, when I was talking about this character of the show, right, he grew up in traumatic experience. He had a traumatic relationship he had, especially with his father, and like tried to fight to the very end to win. And it's almost like finally having this big drastic change, and when he finally like realized and opened his eyes. This Phoenix card literally has an image of someone opening their eyes, opening their third eye, opening their new sense of clarity and focus. And there's an eyeball right here too with the ocean on letting go. The main thing I'm getting with this whole reading is learning to let go. And I think what the beautiful thing, how people view you, is like you're somebody not here to fight anymore. You're not here to change people. You're not here to try to win to the very end and brawl to try to win or fight at all costs. Like, how men view you is like you could be very philosophical, very calm, cool, collected. You're the type of person that really has just changed overall and have this beautiful transformation. There could be something about, like, with the ocean card. I'm going to read specifically what these cards say. Some of you guys could be or have, like, Sagittarius energy. There could be some sort of anger, like residual anger, resentment. If some of you guys came from pile 1 as well, this could be heavy on, like, anger, having, like, wanting to get revenge, wanting to compete, wanting to win at all costs. Those could be all elements at play here for some of you. But these are things that how men view you, how people are seeing you, pile 3, is that these are things that you're no longer fighting for. You're just, like, for some of you, this could be like the universe is saying, like, it's time to let this go. And, like, it's going to bring you so much more peace and love and beauty and wonderful fulfillment in your life, which is so not only attractive, but like it's for you. You're doing it for you, and people are like just inspired by you, motivated by you. People want to learn from you, and you aren't teaching people. Like, for some of you, sometimes also, I was watching this one video about like attachment styles recently, or literally right before I started this, and I'm filming this in the morning time before, like, at a different time than I filmed the other readings, and it's almost like the sun rising after some darkness. And like there's this beautiful message that this girl said in the attachment styles is finding inner peace and like accepting your mind the way it is and being more self-aware in the times of conflict are very important. But I also love that it said something about, like, sometimes we try to, you know, play it cool, or we try to act like we don't have emotions, or that we're overly happy, or that we only are happy. And it's not about being, you know, unhealthily. It's not about, like, seeing happiness as not feeling. The human experience, living true life and thriving truly in your life, is not about only feeling happiness. It's about feeling all of your emotions. It's about accepting who you are and letting go of trying to fix yourself or fix others or fight to the very end to, to this destination. And it's almost like just saying, you already have everything in your power in the now. You already are, you are already your highest self. You are already, people are already good enough, to be with you, to be, like, accepted by you, just like how you accept yourself. And like another thing with that is like, I'm kind of getting like these elements of trying to teach people, right, what it is that you learned, the growth that you have developed. But it's not about teaching them. It's about letting them figure it out themselves. It's about letting them, there's only so much knowledge that you can share, right? And not knowing, and not looking at yourself as better than other people because you know this knowledge. Sometimes viewing ourselves as like, I know more knowledge, or I'm super wise, and people could be, seeing you in that way, is sometimes coming from like a place of ego. It's our egos trying to protect ourselves. It's our egos trying to be like, you know what, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to be fixed. Or like still coming from a place of like, internally I feel like there's something wrong, But it's about really letting go of those deep subconscious beliefs about ourselves. So there could be something about, people have been noticing that you've been working through that and actually learning how to let go and not feeling like you need to teach people or you need to correct people, and more of coming from a place of love and true understanding and acceptance of your circumstances, the way thing and life is, and finding love in the now, in the present, and finding like acceptance towards yourself. So this could be how men are viewing you, is like you're having this drastic change. You're no longer trying to fix and change people, and really just turning inward. There's a big heavy message about turning inward. Look out, we have all these cards inward. There's something about you reflecting a lot inward. Maybe you've been like in your own little self-discovery portal journey. This card really makes me think of like, oh my god, let me read it out loud for you. It really reminds me, it correlates so much to this freaking thumbnail, which is so crazy. But the thumbnail talks about this guy, like his whole backstory is how he basically went on his self-discovery journey by himself. He left, he traveled, he lived by himself, he isolated, and he did a lot of self-reflecting in that time. So it's almost like there could be something about you kind of like in that period of time, and people have been noticing that this is like your period of time where you've just been really turning inward and reflecting and growing and changing and evolving yourself and having more inner strength. But let me read what it says to you. So it says travel, philosophy, higher education. I think people could view you, how men view you is like to be very wise, very smart, very educated, very, very educated. It says in the medieval, there could be something about medieval times, especially with your thumbnail. It says this region was linked to a place and people outside of your village. Now we interpret this area as both literal and intellectual exploration. Those both natal planets in the 9th house are extremely curious and inquisitive, with deep-rooted wanderlust. Like they really like strive to explore themselves. When planets are moved across the 9th house, we begin to study a new topic, move to a new foreign location. There could be something about you moving to a foreign location, and almost like that was your way of this self-discovery and discovering who it is you want to be, who it is you are, and finding out the things you want to do in your life. Another thing I'm getting is there could be something about, like, there could be a specific topic for you that you've done a lot of reflection on. I don't know exactly what it is, but there could be something about you had to, be a hermit, like the hermit card, to turn inward, reflect with yourself, to contemplate with yourself on something that you really wanted to discover upon yourself that has brought you so much peace and inner peace. And this could be also something that, like, is almost like a new era, a new phase in your life that is so truly beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so, like, beautiful, pile 3. But besides that, let me focus more on the topic. We have adopt a complete different perspective. People could feel like you're constantly viewing different perspectives. You could be very open-minded, mainly very philosophical. People feel like you are someone who loves to think and ponder. We have the 9th house encourages you to keep an open mind. You're very open-minded and willing to learn new things as the world changes. You're someone who's very adaptable, very transformable. You're constantly learning. You're constantly the student. You're not like, that one card, there's this one card in the Wild Unknown Tarot of, I think it's like either the fox. I think it's the fox. And it's like upright, like it talks about being the never-ending student, being like a wise father figure, but also, like when it's in reverse, it talks about sometimes struggling to stay open-minded and not letting what their beliefs and their new ways of thinking be what they only think, like they're constantly learning and adapting. So with you, pile 3, how men view you is like, you may think one way one day, but then as you grow and adapt, you start to realize that that's not actually how you want to think. You're not somebody that just is in a box, pile 3, you're a human being. People change and grow. You can't just put labels on people and say that they're this way or that, because everybody's constantly changing and growing. So there could be something about you, pile 3, is like you've really just have changed so much for the better. And like even with your scars, even with your battle scars, even with your wounds, even with your mistakes, your embarrassments, all these different things, you don't hold them against yourself no longer. You let it go and you realize, like, I'm human. And I love myself. I could take accountability for this. I could still reach out and apologize, and I could still grow as a human and know that I'm still worthy of love. I'm not something to be fixed. I'm not something to be labeled as, faultied or broken or, you're human. And other things I'm getting, let's talk about the inner strength card. Or actually, let's talk about the ocean card. So the ocean card says, the unconscious, the depths, the incomprehensible. You could be someone that really comprehends things that might be very difficult for other people to grasp in the beginning. So like you may catch yourself sometimes, pile 3, talking to people where people don't quite understand what it is you said to them right when you said it to them, and you give these like sentences that really make people ponder. And you could be also very selective about what it is you say with your speech. You could be very good at communicating. You could be very good at like selecting your words to an overall meaning and feeling that you invoke in others. Maybe some of you guys are like really into writing or speech, and that could be how men view you. Another thing some of you guys could also, well, we'll talk about that in a sec. So with the ocean card, it says the power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into the salty waters is to step into the unknown. By sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond the understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our very attempt to dominate nature. You cannot control what is outside of you. You cannot control the current, nature, thunderstorms. All these things are outside of your control. It is the natural way that life is. It is unpredictable. Life, it is unpredictable. But you know what is predictable? You. The way you control yourself and how you let these things pierce your skin and how you let these things make you react. And it really makes me think of like this story. I see this, there's like this TikToker who makes these like skits that are a little bit more like motivational or like more on the like thinker side of philosophy. And he has a skit where it's like this, he plays two people, one person that's in like a car that's burning and is on fire, but the person, and the door is unlocked, but the person continues to sit inside that burning car. And the person outside of the car is like knocking on it, it's like, hey, come out, let me rescue you, let me come save you, let me help you. You need to get out that car. And the dude's like, why? Why do I need to get out the car? Like, this is basically just being like, well, I'm scared, and like all these different things, talking about all these different reasons to why they don't get out the car. And it's kind of like, in a way, if you really think about it, that's another way, like the whole sketch was about being like, you cannot control people. You cannot fix people. You cannot help people if they do not want to be helped. These are all things that are outside of your control. And it's almost like when you finally learn to let go and accept people for their own self-destructive behaviors, and you let it go, or you let them go, you realize that it brings you a lot more peace to your endeavors and your journey. Because like, it's almost like another saying that it's like, you can't lift, think about if you're standing on a chair and there's someone like standing next to the chair and you guys are holding hands. It's a lot harder to try to lift this person up onto this chair. It's a lot more difficult. You have to like really be strong to pick this person up onto this chair. But then vice versa, it is so easy for the person below you to pull you down to their level, and pull you down, so it's like, basically that whole saying is like, it's not a teaching about saying that you're better than other people. Okay, that's not the point. The point is that sometimes when people are on their own learning journeys and their own just, journeys of learning and healing, you cannot change them or pull them up. And it's better when it comes to love, or like in relationships in general, to understand and accept that with some relationships, but also know that what you're looking for is to people who are looking to add to your life, not take from it. Anyways, besides that, the main thing I'm getting from you is people could feel like maybe you've been like baptized recently, or you've had some sort of like something with water where it's like you really just like have shed your old skin. You've transformed into this new version of yourself. Every fiber, every cell in your muscle, every underlying deepest belief that has no longer served you any longer has been rejected and removed. And it's almost like your ego must be dissolved. The ocean card talks about your ego must be dissolved, must be lost in the ocean. It's time to let go. Whatever you're fighting for, like for example, it's almost like in another way too, like the way that I'm interpreting this could also be when it comes to your career. And I was getting heavy about like when I said money bags with the, I think I read this card first. It made me think of your career as well, because sometimes you could be so desperate to chase something and you're putting so much energy towards it and chasing it in a way of like trying to get this outside thing to prove your worth. And well, no, I read it in the thumbnail. Let me read exactly what it says, because I really want to pinpoint this message and then we'll move on. But the illusion of invincibility, and it says his quest for invincibility eventually provides unfulfilling, leading him to realize the true strength comes from the love of his craft, a sense of inner peace rather than ruthless ambition or external validation. So for some of you, there could be something about, it's not, like for some of you, let me like paint a picture. Like wanting to have this fulfilling career, right? Wanting to have this dream career and being like, I am going to push myself to the very end to get this dream career so that I could, so that I could look a certain way, or that I could be perceived a certain way, or I could finally, feel happy. Finally get to where it is that I want to be and finally feel happy and feel, good about myself. And it's like this big chase towards this thing, and then it just leaves you overall not enjoying the journey and just feeling like miserable because you're chasing what is already inside of you. And I think what's so beautiful about this message is it's almost like, how could we no longer chase but attract? How can we still work towards our goals but come from a place of self-respect and dignity and love and excitement and creativity that was lost in the journey towards greed or a journey towards validation? And it's such a beautiful message, because this is something that I really have been contemplating myself, that I would love to give a perfect example is like, for example, like by me chasing my career, my dream career, right? Like I was so in a place of chasing that I started to lose my integrity. I started to lose my my morals, who I was in the journey. And the whole point of the journey is to find yourself and to provide you happiness and joyful, no matter the outcome. Guess what? You are going to be successful no matter what it is you do. The outcome is already there. Have faith in that, okay? You are going to be successful no matter what you do, okay? But it's about having faith in that, and it's also about knowing that even if that outcome did not happen, you died on the motherfucking process. You died in the motherfucking process. You died for what you believe in. You died for your purpose, the why. Why are you doing this? It's not about the money. It's not about the validation. It's the why. You're doing it for your own expressive creativity, the beauty within you. Okay, anyways, so sorry I went on a rant there, but let's focus on the main priority of this reading, is how men view you. And how men view you is this. Everything that I've just explained to you, this is how people view you. This is how people are seeing you, as this, beautiful, wise teacher, and not in a place of like, it's almost like a father figure. You're like this father figure, this new, like, beautiful father figure. You may not even be male. You might be a female. But you could have this like really wise, healthy relationship with your masculine energy. And for those of you that are female, okay, we all have masculine and feminine inside of us. When I mean more of like masculine energy, I mean more you have a healthy relationship with your ego. That's what I mean, a little bit more. So there's something about like having a better balance with it and not taking it like personally. Also, there could be something about competition. You're no longer competing with other people. You're no longer competing with other people, you know, trying to, you know, be better at certain things than them, or trying to chase what it is that they're chasing, or feeling like you have to do anything else besides being your motherfucking self. Because you have space here on this planet. There's space here for you. And the universe is just waiting for you to step into that. But patiently, you know, they're not rushing you. Take your time. I think also like with competing against people, it's like you don't need to compete against nobody else. The only person you're competing with is the past version of yourself. You are uniquely yourself, and you don't need to compete with anybody else on this planet. Anybody else. And it's better not to compete with others. Sometimes the reason to why we compete comes from a deep down subconscious level of or like, you know, belief of like it's coming from a place of lack of self-worth. Needing to compete is coming from a place of lack of self-worth. I need to prove myself. I need to win. You don't need to win. You don't need to win. And people's successes do not take away from your achievements, your goals, and your, you know, happiness. For some of you, there could be something about the way you sit in that discomfort and the way that you find happiness for anybody's successes, and no longer looking at yourself with self-hatred. Or needing to like gain somebody's approval. Maybe father figure could be specific, or like seeking like. Anyways, I've been talking way too long about this, but hope that this helped somebody out there. If this resonates, love you guys. You're doing an amazing job, and how men view you is literally to be all these different things. It's like you're so wise. There's so much depth to you. There's so much deep understanding and visionary happiness, success, and purity. There's just really something about like attractive. You are so attractive. Like, and there's new, like, you don't even want the success. It's almost like you are developing into somebody that's like, you know what, I don't even want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. It's fine. And because it's almost like because you don't want it anymore, that's when you end up getting it. It's always so funny how the universe works. It's like, I know you've been wanting this for so long, and I know that you've gotten to the point of finally just letting go, and that's when you motherfucking receive it. It's when you stop chasing it, and you let it come to you. Okay, let me shut the fuck up. Let's hop into the index messages. So how else do men... Wait, let's actually read this card real quick, and then we'll talk about it. We have... it's in reverse, so it says an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. It says innocence, purity, redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. I think you are stepping into this new sense of purity and innocence and like your inner child, and really just expressing from a place of love, true, authentic love, and breaking all barriers. There could be something about feeling like you need to defend yourself. Could be something, and you don't have to defend yourself. What people say and what people do does not take away from you. And a lot of time also isn't trying to, majority of the time people don't say things with malice intent. Okay, so, like, you are very, understanding. How men view you is to be, like, this inner child, like, you're just, like, this new, it's really giving, like, 𝑓𝑒𝑑𝑜𝑟𝑒 vibes from 𝑗ujutsu Kaisen, like, in the beginner seasons, like, he's just this loving soul that loves to see the beauty in everyone and anything, and, like, he, you know, is patient, calm, and, like, goofy and silly, and, like, you could see him run over to, like, play with the cats or something on the field, and, like, he's just truthfully himself. But anyways, pile 3. So what else do we have? There could be something about scars, how people views to have scars, but it's almost like your scars don't define you. Your past does not define you. It's almost like this image here. I think this is such a beautiful message. Your past is in your head, and the future is in your hands. You could be someone who's also very disciplined, and in a healthy way of being disciplined. Not in a way of, like, hustle mentality, but in a healthy way of discipline of what works best for you. Not in a way of, like, losing yourself in work or feeling like your work is what defines you, or your productivity defines you. None of that shit defines you. Your worth comes truly from within. And, like, it's about, like, this Buddha mentality. It's really giving, like, if you think about a Buddha, they shave their head, they lose absolutely everything, they have nothing, and they're still able to find true, fulfilling happiness. And it's not because happiness does not come from things outside of you. There could be something about you doing your own little Buddha, like transformative period, pile 3. Okay, so how else do men view pile 3? We have, I wish you knew how I felt about you. There could be some people out here that are attracted to you, and really feel very strongly about you, feeling very emotionally strong about you, and, like, could have really strong feelings of love. We have white teeth. You could have really nice white teeth. How else do people view pile 3? There could be something about a boat or yacht. Maybe you guys are really in tuned with, like, the water. Maybe you guys like to be on, like, a boat and maybe surf or swim. Like, there could be something heavy about swimming. Maybe you guys were, like, on a swimming team where just being in water really brings you a new sense of, like, tranquility. It's, like, almost like literally being baptized in water. There could be something about, you know, going for a swim, developing, like, just being more in nature by, like, a water or, like, pond, or, like, it's really giving me someone who's, like, in the mountains and going to waterfalls. So this is how people perceive you, is, like, to be this, like, nature, Buddha, Zen type person that's, like, very minimalistic and, like, needs nothing but themselves to be happy. And it's just so freaking attractive, pile 3. You are very unique. People view you to be very unique, pile 3. People to feel like you are so uniquely yourself, so different from the rest. People are planning to reconcile with you. There could be something about maybe you planning to reach out to some people to maybe apologize, or there could be something about people looking to reconcile with you, looking to, you know, have a better relationship with you. You could be attracting a lot of curious eyes. People could really want children with you. We have I love your soul. Wow. And your intelligence is so sexy. Wow. I can't show that because I'll get demonetized. So yeah, that's really beautiful. So let's see what song we have for you on Love Radio. Let's see what we get. And then we're going to hop into Pinterest board. We have Nonsense. So Nonsense by Sabrina Carpenter. And I'm going to put this down so we can read it together. It says, ooh la la, yeah, I think I only want one number in my phone. I might change your contact. Look, it's the color blue. Color blue could be very significant. It also just, it's crazy it's the color blue because we literally got the ocean card and we kept talking about the water. So there could be heavy, something about the water. There could also be something about this card. Every time I ever get this card in my readings, I always think about the flow of water. Look, it's the same color. The flow of water. And like really just like letting go. So it says, I might change your contact to don't leave me alone. You say you like my eyes. You like it when they roll. Treat me like a queen. Now you got me feeling thrown. Oh, I can't help myself when you get close to me, baby. My tongue goes numb. Sounds like blah, blah, blah. I don't want no one else. No one. I'm in too deep. People could feel like they're very in deep with you. There could be also exploring like the deep blue sea. The deep, deep blue sea. What's that song? There could be something about SpongeBob. We have here a little song. I wrote a song. It's about you and me. I'll be honest, looking at you got me thinking nonsense. Cartwheels in my stomach when you walk in. When you got my arms around me, oh, it feels so good. I had to jump the octave. I think I got an X, but I forgot him, and I can't find my chills. I must have lost it. I don't even know I'm talking nonsense. I'm talking nonsense. Or all around the clock, I'm talking, hoping someone knocks. I'm opposite of soft, wild thoughts. You got me keeping up. You got to keep up with me. I got some young energy. I caught the love. There could be someone really, really interested in you. How do you do this to me? I can't help myself when you get close to me. Baby, my tongue goes numb. I don't want no one else. I'm in too deep. Someone could be really crushing on you. It says, the song catcher, then chickenpox. I bet your house is where my other sock is. Woke up in the morning, thought I had... Interesting how I'm filming in the morning. Thought it's not even the morning, it's the afternoon now. Woke up in the morning, thought I'd write a pop hit. How quickly can you take your clothes off? Pop quiz. The one's not going to make it. Most of these aren't going to make it. So, pile 3, I think there's definitely someone who's very attracted to you, interested in you. I don't know why, but for some reason what that made me think of was it seems like she's very anxious to be the feelings that she may be having. But all the different things in that reading could be significant. For some of you, maybe you guys are more of like, this person may like to chase you, and you're kind of like an avoidant. There could be something about that. That may be a really specific message to some of you. Okay, so let's now focus on your Pinterest board. Now the time that you all been waiting for. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. I'm not going to be able to read this, but it says, I guess I'll go F myself. Thanks for nothing. Big, or D-I-C bag. What the hell? And then we have another image. I'm just going to show what the image is, and then we're going to have to reshuffle. Just because I don't want to have to blur out that F word. But we have someone that says, we're talking about you, how it feels from my perspective. I'm dead. There could be something about, it says Superman, he's on the phone, and they're, sleeping at night. And he got, a call. Or we could just scroll past it a little bit, and then we could, it's, the image is right here. I'll have to cover it. So the image is right here, but it says go blank. Okay. So it says, he wants you back. Tell him, Tell him I've been discovered the new power of the blank. You are way too creative for a 9 to 5. Aww. I think some of y'all had to hear that. We have this beautiful couple in this bed here, looking into each other's eyes. It says life is good. Then there's another couple, like, she's sitting on him. You can't really see him, but she's sitting on him. And they're, like, all over each other. No one has ever apologized for doing things they did. They only blame me for reacting how I did. I don't know if I agree with that. The thing is you don't need an apology. This is coming from a place of ego. This is coming from a place of his lack of self-ego. If you really think about it, think very deeply about what it is he's saying. He's coming from a place of lack. He's coming from a place of hurt. He's coming from, everybody has hurt me. He's thinking very bad, like black and white. Sometimes people don't apologize for their own reasons. Maybe they don't even realize that they've hurt you. There's so many reasons to why people have issues of their own. Hurt people. You know, it doesn't give them the right to do it. You know, it's still unfair, but you get to choose from this point on how you want to take that. Do you want to, you know, internalize that and forever be mad and angry and lose your whole life journey pouring hatred towards this individual? Or would you rather come from a place of your inner child, of forgiving this person? And not for them, for you. Being like, you know what? This person was a shitty person. And I know that they aren't all bad, but I get to choose how I want to live my life. And I know I want to live my life with beauty and love. And I don't want to pass that hatred down onto my next generations or onto the next people I meet, because they are not them. And they don't blame you. I mean, with this, okay, this last sentence says they only blame me for how I reacted. Just because someone hurts you doesn't mean it gives you the right to hurt them back. Don't stoop to their level. You don't want to be like them. Trust me, you don't want to be like them. Don't be like them. Don't react. They blame me for how I'm reacting. Yeah, well, now you're giving them something to latch onto. Especially with, like, narcissistic people, that's what they do to throw it in your face. They try any little reactive thing, any little mistakes you make, they throw it back in your face. Guess what? You don't need those. There's no point in fighting with those types of people. It's time to pick up your bags and walk the motherfucking away. Leave these people behind. There's tons of other people in this beautiful world that will listen to what it is you have to say, that will listen and try to work on things together, that will apologize for their mistakes, that will take accountability. And you don't have to react to them either. You know, like there's people that you can resolve conflict with a lot better as well. But just because you are dealing with people that don't know how to resolve conflict doesn't mean you have to get to their level. You can't control these people. You can't fix it. You can't change them. It says science, it's like magic, but real. That's so true. There could be something about you being like scientific or very maybe into science, chemistry. People could feel like they have a lot of chemistry with you. There's a lot of like body sketches. There could be something about you being like, you could be really good at sketching or drawing. There could be something about like maybe drawing like bodies. We have Sunday skincare. There's like all these different products. You could have really beautiful like smooth skin. For some of you, y'all, I'm really getting like natural vibes. It's really giving like nature, natural, somebody who like you would take a shower in like a pond or something and then like step out into like the ocean and run like with their bare feet. Like it's really just giving like natural in the mountains type of person with you, pile 3. So I think that's how people view you, is like you're very grounded in nature, and it's so freaking attractive. We have my 4 moods. People feel like you're like a cute little teddy bear. There's so many like images of like the naked body. So there could be something about you being nude. Maybe you're someone who's very comfortable with being nude. There's not like nudity here, but there could be something about like, there's like little hints to it in the images that I'm seeing. So there could be something about you being very comfortable in the nude. Maybe like, again, like it's almost like human nature. We weren't really meant to have clothes, but we made clothes to keep us warm. So there could be something about like you just like being very comfortable in your body, being very comfortable in nature and just being in like your skin. It says, I much rather eat pasta and drink wine than be a size 0. Beautiful. Mwah, couldn't have said it better. What color do you think goes well with the shirt? Geez, I don't know. It says, why don't you not look at me? She says, she's asking like, what shirt should I wear? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then she's like, look at me. What do you mean? Take a look. Interesting. This is also giving me the attachment style that I learned today about like she's trying to control him and get an answer out of him, and he's kind of just like avoidant about it. So that could, if this resonates with you, this could be heavy. People could also just be you're very attractive, or maybe people also like don't look. There could be something about maybe this person struggles to make eye contact. You could be someone who makes strong eye contact. For some of you, I'm also getting like you could be someone that is learning to calm your inner beast, learning to calm your inner anger, especially with this fire here. She's got fire from her hair. We have how I'm saving money without noticing. You could be saving money. You could be really good at saving money. Maybe you're not really someone that needs anything. You're kind of just like, I'm happy with what it is I have. Because, like, guess what? Buying products, buying things don't give you happiness. May all these teeth fall out of his smile when he smiles at other people. That's so funny. She's really gorgeous. You guys could look like this. She also just has this natural beauty. They're like laying on each other and she's admiring his face. We have Self-Love Club. She's wearing Jinx's costume, LOL. And then we have someone accidentally spilt ketchup on themselves. We have the name Jess. It says, jeans hanging, personal bait, mission bomb, police palace, lots of sleepless nights, and then he's eating food. It could be something about working really hard. Maybe you guys, maybe your skin. Oh my god. It's almost kind of crazy how not only does like what you put into your body, like the food you eat, the way you take care of your skin, the less stress you have, makes such an impact on the messages your skin like gives. So like sometimes acne straight up comes from like your hormones or like the stresses or like all these different things, and when you're finally like at peace and happy, your skin radiates that. Your outwards appearance radiates that. What's the matter, Sydney? Looks like you've seen a ghost. What's up? It looks like you've seen a ghost. That's fucking iconic. Maybe you make people a little bit nervous. But you could be also very loving and understanding. Like you're like, oh, are you okay? You may not even notice that you make people nervous. But yeah, it says we traumatized. It could be something about you healing this and not like romanticizing it. It says, why can't I have Riz like Grayson? It's funny. Oh, there's all these women looking at him. Oh, that's so funny. You could definitely be already, like, have Riz, to be honest, 𝑒𝑙𝑒𝑟𝑒. You just, like, maybe don't see it yet. But, yeah. Definitely stepping into this attractive. If you aren't already attractive, 𝑒𝑙𝑒𝑟𝑒, you're becoming attractive. And I feel like you're already... �Ｔranquility. That's funny. Traveling in tranquility. You could already be very attractive. I think you just don't realize it, like, how truly attractive you are. And confidence comes, like, adds so much more attractiveness as well. There could be something about, your outward appearance could be very attractive, but maybe you're, like, working through being more confident of yourself as well. And that could just be by putting in time for yourself, like, taking better care of yourself can really add to your confidence. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful 𝑒𝑙𝑒𝑟𝑒s. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you'd like to get your own personal reading, I do offer them here. We have all these different 18+ decks. We have every single deck you ever see on my channel is listed there. If you like any specific ones, I also am going to be having a sale coming up soon that will be listed, and I'll tell you what it is in the next reading, because I don't have it set up yet. But I also am going to have an 18 plus extended, so we're going to do some 18 plus messages if you want to know a little bit about the love romance in this reading, and some other more messages if you'd like to see more. So that will be on my Patreon if you'd like to check that out. Of course, I can't talk about 18 plus things on YouTube, but I'm freely to do it there. And of course, I also appreciate and love the support, because I want to make this my career, my passion, and I love creating this community with you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not be here. So thank you so much for even watching the video, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye!